You want a pet snake, but there are over 3,000 species in the world, and if you pick the wrong one, you're gonna have a bad time. Today, I'm ranking the 5 absolute best pet snakes for total beginners, from number 5 all the way to number 1, the one snake I'd recommend to literally anyone. Let's go. Welcome to Scales and Tails, where I break down everything about keeping snakes so you don't have to figure it out the hard way. If that sounds good, hit subscribe. Let's get into it. What makes a good beginner snake? Before the list, here's what I'm judging on. Number 1, temperament. Does it bite? Does it stay calm when you pick it up? That matters a lot when you're just starting out. Number 2, size. Bigger snakes need bigger enclosures, more food, and more experience. We're sticking with snakes under 5 feet. Number 3, care difficulty. Some snakes need very specific humidity, temperature gradients, or live prey. Beginners want something forgiving. And number 4, feeding reliability. Nothing stresses new owners out like a snake that refuses to eat. These snakes on this list are solid eaters. All right, let's start the countdown.
Number 5, the milk snake. Now, if you've seen one of these, your first reaction might be, wait, is that venomous? It's got red, black, and yellow bands just like a coral snake, but it's completely harmless. Here's an easy way to remember the difference. Red touches black, friend of Jack. Red touches yellow, kill a fellow. Milk snakes are red touches black. Safe. They grow between 2 and 4 feet, which makes them very manageable. They eat frozen thawed mice, no live prey needed, and they're generally calm once they settle into your home. The reason they're number 5 and not higher, they're a little nippy when they're young, before they're used to handling. Once they're comfortable with you, they're great. Just be patient early on. Care difficulty? Easy. Size? 2 to 4 feet. Temperament? Calm once settled. Number 4, the Kenyan Sand Boa. This one is one of my personal favorites. These little guys are tiny. Adults are usually between 1.5 and 2 feet. They have these adorable stubby faces, and they come in gorgeous orange and brown patterns with tons of available morphs if you want something unusual looking. The coolest thing about them, they're burrowers. In the wild, they spend most of their time under the sand, ambushing prey. In your enclosure, they'll bury themselves in their substrate and just chill there, which honestly makes them kind of low maintenance. They only need to eat about once every 2 weeks, their enclosure doesn't need to be huge, and they have one of the most docile temperaments of any snake on this list. They almost never bite. The reason they're number 4 instead of higher, they're not as widely available as some other snakes, and their small size can make them harder to handle if you want a snake you can actually watch move around. Care difficulty? Very easy. Size? 1.5 to 2 feet. Temperament, extremely docile.
Number 3, the Rosy Boa. Don't let the word boa scare you. These are nothing like the giant boa constrictors you've seen on TV. Rosy boas max out at about 3 feet. They're slow-moving, and they're considered one of the least likely snakes to bite of any species kept as pets. They come in beautiful striped patterns, orange, brown, or black stripes on a cream background. They're native to the southwestern United States and Mexico, so they like dry, arid conditions that are actually pretty easy to set up indoors. One thing I love about Rosy boas, they're extremely calm even when you first handle them. Unlike some snakes that take weeks to calm down, Rosy boas are pretty chill from day one. The downside is they're slower to find at pet stores. You'll usually need to go to a reptile expo or an online breeder, but they're worth it. Care difficulty? Easy. Size? 2 to 3 feet. Temperament? Calm, rarely bites. Number 2, the corn snake. And honestly, this one was very close to being number 1. Corn snakes are probably the most popular beginner snake in the world for a reason. They hit every mark. Docile, easy to feed, manageable size at 3 to 5 feet, and they come in a staggering variety of colors and patterns because breeders have developed hundreds of morphs over the years. Want a bright red snake? There's a morph for that. All white? Yep. Stripped of all pattern? Absolutely. The variety is honestly incredible. They eat frozen thawed mice, they're active and fun to watch, and they handle beautifully once they're used to you. The only reason corn snakes are number 2 instead of number 1, they're active escape artists. These snakes will find any gap in their enclosure and squeeze through it. You need a very secure tank. Get that right, and corn snakes are nearly perfect. Care difficulty? Easy. Size? 3 to 5 feet. Temperament? Docile, curious. Number 1, the ball python. And this is not a surprising pick. And it's not a boring one either. Ball pythons are number 1 because they genuinely earn it. They grow to 3 to 5 feet, and they're stocky, not super long, so they feel manageable in your hands. When they feel threatened, they don't bite. They curl into a ball and tuck their head in the middle. That's literally where the name comes from. That's how gentle they are. Ball pythons come in the most morph variety of any snake species on Earth. There are over 7,000 documented morphs, from classic wild type to pure white albinos to galaxy patterns to deep purples and blues. The collecting rabbit hole is deep with these animals. They're also one of the longer-lived pet snakes. Properly cared for, they can live 30 years or more, so this is a real commitment, but also a real relationship. The one caveat, sometimes ball pythons go through feeding strikes. They just refuse to eat for weeks or even months. This is completely normal and usually stress-related. New owners sometimes panic. Just stay calm, keep their environment right, and they come back to feeding. But for overall temperament, availability, variety, and ease of care, ball python wins, every time. Care difficulty? Beginner-friendly. Size? 3 to 5 feet. Lifespan? 20 to 30 years. Before I let you go, if you're planning to buy one of these snakes, here's what you need to have ready before it comes home. 1. A secure enclosure with a locking lid. Snakes escape. A 20-gallon tank works for most of these species as juveniles. 2. A heat source. Under-tank heaters or heat tape connected to a thermostat, not a heat lamp pointing down at the snake all day. 3. A thermostat. This is non-negotiable. Without it, a heat mat can overheat and burn your snake. 4. A temperature and humidity gauge, or a combo thermometer-hygrometer. 5. Substrate. Aspen shavings for dry species, cypress mulch for species that need more humidity. 6. 2 hides, one on the warm side, one on the cool side. 7. A water bowl big enough for the snake to soak in. And 8. Frozen thawed rodents in the appropriate size for your species. I'll link my full enclosure setup guide in the description when it's up. Final thoughts. So that's the list. 5 best beginner snakes ranked. 5. Milk snake. 4. Kenyan Sand Boa. 3. Rosy Boa. 2. Corn snake. 1. Ball python. Drop a comment telling me which one you're thinking about getting. I read every single one. If this video helped you, subscribe so you don't miss next week when I walk through the complete ball python enclosure setup from scratch. See you then.